everyone. Welcome to the Third Person Perspective Outcast. I am Savage God the Outsider. And today I'm here to talk about the AEW Women's Division and how I think it should be changed. How to save it, at least. Well, first thing I believe, I'm just going to really tell you off rip how everything is. I'm supposed to come on here and talk about a script, but I don't feel like talking about the script. I just want to get to the main source. All the AEW Women's Division needs is their division, their foundation, their core, and more time. And also, too, to get rid of AEW Women's Heels, or whatever that's called. Because, let's be honest, it's not really worth my time. But AEW Women's Division, they need a core, and they have the women to do it, but they just don't want to. They don't want to. What's the word I'm looking for? They don't want to capitalize on those women. That's what it looks like to me. Now, I know in the past, Cody, Bucks, Omega, especially Omega, Tony Khan, they all said how they want the women's division to get better, but all I see it doing is getting worse. Now, they do slightly get better all the time, but outside of Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, Hikaru Shida, Penelope Ford, that's another thing. Their best wrestlers barely perform. Like Penelope Ford and the Bunny and who else doesn't? Oh, Shida. Shida doesn't perform now for some strange reason. Nyla Rose. Their best wrestlers do not perform. And that's something that really bothers me, because that just tells me that you don't take their women's division seriously. What I think will save it, like I said, is time, more time, that core, than the foundation. That is all I believe that all will save it. And, it's what it is. Now, another thing I believe that would save it is them possibly having Tessa Blanchard come on into the women's division. But let's be honest, she said all that racist junk like a few months ago. Well, really last year. Me as a black person, I'll say it like this. I don't really like racism. It doesn't really suit anybody. And to be honest with you, I'd rather have AEW maintain their image as, politically correct and friendly to all the social justice warriors out there, than rather have someone who's racist and will rather mess up their whole entire image. Because, with Tessa Blanchard comes controversy, unfortunately. And to tell you the truth, it's like it's not what it is. And honestly, what can I say? That was Tessa's fault, and I wrote some notes down, I think her potential is wasted now that, that she came out and, basically said all that racist junk not too long ago. And honestly, at first I thought it was a setup, when it came out, but as time went on, we can't allow that. Now, personally, I can let it go, but as in general for everybody else, not a lot of people can let it go. And if she goes to AEW, not everybody's going to be on board with it, because it's going to call her the racist wrestler. And no shame to Tessa Blanchard, but it's just what it is. But yeah, I feel like a shining star in the AEW Women's Division soon to come would have to be Jade Cargill, because I feel like Jade Cargill has very much high potential in the women's division. She has a good look. She's a fast learner. And it seems to me that if you give her about 5 years, she could really become the next big thing for the AEW women's division if you give her that time and investment. And it looks like they're doing that. Now, Kenny Omega constantly says how he wants to push the Joshi women, but honestly, the Joshi women are trash. Like, I'm just gonna come out and say it, like, not all of them are trash. I mean, they're great and amazing wrestlers to them, but they're great, amazing wrestlers, but them on TV every single week, nobody gets them. Nobody understands them. And, some of them are entertaining. I mean, Sheeta's the exception, but it's not. See, there's a word I'm looking for, but it's just not there. If you get my drift. Now, I can constantly tell you that the AEW Women's Division now, and I'm back to Tessa Blanchard. The next thing I can tell you that is, now if it wasn't for the racist stuff, Tessa Blanchard honestly could have been a Becky Lynch or a Charlotte Flair or a Bayley or a Sasha or whoever. She could have really been a Charlotte, a Becky, a Sasha, or Bayley to the women's division of AEW if she had joined, if she wasn't racist. But that would never happen, like I said, because her potential is not wasted. Now, I don't think it's wasted, but her honestly going anywhere is going to be hard. And it sounds like I'm being harsh, but I'm just saving out a fact of life. And it's like, no matter how many times I try to prove it, I can't. Now, enough of the women's division. Done talking about that. Here's what I want to talk about for my next thing. I'm going to talk about the development of AEW next. Now, I'm going to talk to you guys about how AEW has way too many factions. And some should go, some should stay. Now, let me tell you like this. What I mean by factions is I'm going to include tag teams too. Like, I feel like their tag teams division is honestly monumental and very, very important. But some of their factions, like the Hardy family, or like the Inner Circle, really not the Inner Circle. The Inner Circle is really good. So, but the Pinnacle now, some of these tag teams need to be broken up, like the unnecessary tag teams. Like, honestly, I'm just gonna say it like this: everybody's a tag team to be a tag team, and not so much to be coming down on everybody, but they have the tag teams. I feel like a lot of their tag teams need to be broken up. A lot of tag teams, they need to be broken up. And a lot of times, I feel like maybe it's not their fault. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. That's what I feel. I feel like you need to start focusing on sticking to the tag teams that were there from day one, and stop making up all these different other tag teams. Like, you guys catch my drift. Now I want to talk about these four who are some of my personal favorites. I want to talk about MJF, Darby Allin, Cody, and Kenny Omega. Now, let me start off with MJF. The way how MJF has molded himself in AEW is absolutely phenomenal. To me, that is. The way how he did it was going off from Moxley, from Moxley all the way to Jericho was absolutely great stuff. Especially his 25 years promo when he said he wanted to make the next 25 years his. And honestly, I really hope he lives up to it. I really hope that he honestly is that guy, because for him to constantly come out, for him to come out and say that he wants to change AEW women's, he wants to change the AEW for the next 25 years. That's bold to me. To me, that's bold stuff. But can he live up to it? That's my thing. Can he live up to it or no? Now, next person I want to talk about. Well, before I talk about the next person, I'm really excited to do what MJF does next, and I really hope that in the future he can come out to be like an AEW champion one day. Next person I want to talk about is Darby Allin. I feel like Darby Allin in the shortest amount of time has become one of their biggest stars, and for that to happen for Darby Allin is really cool to see. We haven't seen, to me, I don't feel like we haven't seen a guy as over as Darby Allin in the last 10 years. In terms of an upcoming company. Darby Allin, to me, is a really cool, he's really, the way how he does the coffin drop is absolutely cool. And what else I should say about Darby Allin? I think also, another thing, I want to see, let's talk about the dream matches. I want to see Darby Allin versus MJF in the future. I want to see that. That would be pretty cool. I think Darby Allin versus MJF would be cool. I think Darby Allin versus Hangman Page would be cool. Well, if they were to ever rival each other. I know they went up against each other, I think in one of the Dynamites. I'm not sure, but it really clogs my mind. Everything about Darby Allin is just cool. Everything about him is just really breathtaking of what you want to see next out of him. It's really everything from the vignettes to working with Sting to working with Cody. Definitely the Cody matches were fire. And honestly, I just want to see what he does next. Now, speaking of which, Cody. Now, we all know Cody. Cody is the guy who basically brought in. He is Revolution when in AEW. He's the Revolution. Cody went from being this jobber in WWE to now being one of the undeniable people. See what I did there? He went from being undesirable to undeniable within literally a span of 10 years. Because beforehand in WWE, Cody wasn't ish. And to be honest with you, he wasn't making anything out of himself, and he was sick and tired of it, so he decided to go out of WWE and make something on his own. And I really commend him for that. Now what I said before is AEW, what else? Cody giving up his AEW title status, for him, ever going up against anybody else for the championship again is really it's really commemorable of him because it shows that he actually cares. Now, I don't think he wanted to give up his championship shot for the AEW championship, but it just tells you what it is. Another thing about Cody that I like is that he likes to work with, the under talent. The way how he works with them is really commemorable of him. It really shows that he has a big heart. But honestly, he makes you. One thing in the ring that he does is he makes you work. Cody will make you work for what you believe. Like, he will make you work for a win out of him. What I'm saying is he'll push you in the ring. Like, he will push you to your absolute max in that ring. Like, I've seen how the way he works. It's really cool. Now, next person I want to talk about is Kenny Omega. I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. I like Kenny Omega's heel turn. His heel turn at first to me was it was expected, but then now his heel turn is very, it's in your face now. To the point where it's oh, you can't stand him type thing. And now that he brought in the Good Brothers, and now that he has the Young Bucks with him, because now he has the Young Bucks with him, apparently, I think so. It just goes on to show you how much Kenny Omega is willing to push this Forbidden Door stuff. And I'm gonna get to the Forbidden Door in a second, but I commend Kenny Omega for that. The one thing I don't like Kenny Omega for is how he books the women's division. It's getting soft, and I know he's booking the women's division, so it's just very soft. The way he books the women's division is really crappy. I'll just say that. But the way how he works in the ring also is very phenomenal too. But another thing too, the Forbidden Door. I want to talk about the Forbidden Door. The Forbidden Door, I believe, is really a really good concept and business marketing, trading mark idea that that AEW has came up with. And I'm saying by Tony Khan. Tony Khan came up with this idea. And basically, for those who don't know the Forbidden Door is basically New Japan and Impact Wrestling, coming into, AEW and running shop. Now, I believe honestly the fans are honestly not going to get the whole entire full-blown invasion of the Forbidden Door until fans come back. And everybody's waiting for when fans come back to honestly do it. And everyone sees it, Forbidden Door I should talk about. Now, who I want to see during the Forbidden Door, you say? I want to see Kazuchika Okada, Kota Ibushi, Bullet Club, and Will Ospreay. The reason why I want to see those 4 individuals is because I really feel like with them on board, they would honestly bring new life into the company they would push the envelope forward, I believe, and it would really help with the. I think I could really see some really good rivalries. Like, for example, I can really see Ibushi and Omega kind of really putting on a rivalry. Well, redoing their rivalry. I can see Okada and Omega. I can see Ospreay and Omega for the first time ever. I can see that. And I can see Bullet Club versus Bullet Club on their channel. Now, I believe their first time. Now, I believe, like, for the first time doing it, I think they should bring in Okada. I think bringing in Okada could honestly work. And when they do it, they should honestly have Okada and Jericho feud. I think that would be cool to see Okada and Jericho feud. Or if not Okada and Jericho, go strictly up to Okada and Omega. I think that could work. Now, with Kota Ibushi, I'm not sure if they're going to get Kota, but if they do, I believe they should have Ibushi and they should have Omega feud. Now they could have that as a second choice if not Okada and Omega, but I believe Ibushi, or we could probably have Darby Allin versus Ibushi. I think that would be an interesting mix. Maybe have David Finlay and Juice Robinson probably come on into AEW. You can have that. You can have that. Or you can have you can have them like feud against a whole lot of people in there. I don't know how this Forbidden Door is going to work. I just believe it's going to be a melting pot. And that's what I believe I have to say on that. The last thing I want to talk about is CM Punk to AEW. I want to talk about that because I believe he will be coming in the Lex by the end of 2021. And by the end of 2021, he will be coming when there's fans. If there is fans by then. Because I don't think he's coming to an empty Daily Place arena. I feel like he would honestly bring in Now, what I want to talk about is CM Punk coming to AEW. I believe him coming into AEW could really shake the landscape of the company, and I feel like him coming into the company would really shake heads. I feel like him coming into the company would also shake heads with WWE. And he could really have some really great matches. I could see him and Omega, or him versus Cody, or him versus Moxley, or, him working with a whole lot of other talent too. He could come in and coach in the new guys, the younger guys at AEW. He could do a whole lot. And that's why I feel like he can do. Or he could probably be like a backstage manager, help the guys backstage. Or is there just ideas to come across in the future? And that's why I believe should go on. Alright, that was the first episode of Third Person Perspective Outcast. I am Savage God the Outsider, and I'm signing out. Thank you.